Okay, are you struggling to turn content into clients? On this week's Profit with a Plan, we're sitting down with Deirdre Tshien, CEO of Capsho, the AI powered content marketer that helps entrepreneurs transform their podcasts, vlogs, and live streams into engagement and leads. She's going to be revealing the 3 Facebook posts that will grow your lists, skyrocket engagement, and bring in more leads without spending all day online. So turn in to learn the exact posts that get the algorithm to work in your favor, how to turn social engagement into a thriving email list, and a simple way to attract ready to buy leads every week. So if you're ready to win the game, the content game, and make social media actually work for your business, this is the episode you don't want to miss. Hey, entrepreneurs, are you working too hard for too little profit? Welcome to Profit with a Plan podcast, where we help you scale smarter, increase profitability, and build a business that's worth more, whether you keep it or sell it. I'm Marcia, Riner, business growth strategist and the profit booster behind Infinite Profit. I've helped countless entrepreneurs to turn their businesses into highly profitable and sale ready assets so they enjoy more income now and a bigger payday later on. So join me for practical strategies, expert insights, and proven steps to make your business more profitable, more valuable, and built to last. By the way, today's episode is sponsored by Infinite Profit, where we don't just talk profit, we deliver it. But before we dive in, I've got something really special for you. If you're feeling like you're doing everything right, but not seeing the results you want, it might be time for a fresh perspective. That's why we're offering a free growth and marketing audit. And in just one powerful session, we'll uncover opportunities to drive real growth for your business. So if you're ready to make an impact, go visit profitbooster.biz and let's get started. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Our guest today has been changing the way entrepreneurs use and grow their businesses, use content to grow their businesses. My guest, Deirdre Tshien, is the co-founder and CEO of Capsho, an AI-powered content marketing tool that helps podcasters, vloggers, and live streamers turn their content into high-converting marketing assets. But Deirdre isn't just a tech founder. She's a seasoned entrepreneur with a track record of building and scaling businesses. She's also the creator of the Honey Trap Method, the author of Honey Trap Marketing, and the host of Win the Contest Game podcast. Her expertise in content strategy has earned her a spot among the 100 women to know in America in 2023. So if you're ready to turn your content into a client generating machine, Deirdre is the perfect person to show us how. So welcome to the show, Deirdre.
Hi, Marcia. So good to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, I've been a follower for some time now and dabbled in Capsho. It's such a great tool. But I always like to ask people where they kind of stepped into this game. How did you go from, writing books and in this piece into like a tech
Yeah.
entrepreneur?
I think like with everything, it's always been a journey. I actually started my entrepreneurship journey in 2013 in hospitality, which by the way, I would not recommend anyone as a first time entrepreneur to do. It was hard. But back in Sydney, Australia, we actually started, my husband and I started a dessert bar. We grew that to 5 locations, actually had a burger brand alongside that had 2 locations. And then honestly, it was like in end of 2018, we just were feeling burnt out. It was just, it was a lot. And so we decided to kind of like explore, think about what something different would look like.
Mm.
And so, through that journey, we moved over to the States. I was working on another business with another co-founder. And, we kind of we failed the first business that we tried to build over here. But because of that, opportunities opened, which meant that we actually went into a little bit of agency work, and then COVID hit. And so we transitioned fully online with coaching. That was when we started our first podcast. And then it was literally through that journey where we were like, I was feeling again, I was burning my team out, honestly, trying to like market the podcast, market the business. And I was like, there has to be an easier way to do this. And one thing led to another, and Capsho came about. So we launched mid 2022. It was before ChatGPT, before the hype of AI. No one knew. They were like looking at what it was that Capsho produced at the time, and they were like, "Oh my gosh! Like I said this stuff, and it's there written on a page for me," which was incredible. So it has definitely been a journey for us.
It's amazing how we evolve through our journeys, right? I mean, I
Hmm.
started as a financial advisor. My parents were business owners. I went into business consulting because I saw a problem with businesses not preparing for their exit. And then
Yeah.
it flipped to more business before that, and then it flipped to this, and then it adds this, and then this is like evolution of this like
A
beast that keeps
hundred
going.
percent.
But
Yeah.
it's funny, our entrepreneurial journey is because we use the word entrepreneur, we're always building and creating, and it's so much fun.
It's so much fun, but it's also, it kind of also has its mental challenges, like,
Of course.
the, the ADHD, I call it the entrepreneurship ADHD, where you're like, there's all these ideas and you want to do it all. And it's like, okay, how do you just focus? No, we just need to focus.
Oh my gosh. So it's so funny. I went to a show like 100 years ago, and the lady had squirrels. And so we had squirrels were the theme on it. And so it reminds me of us chasing shiny objects and, oh,
Yes.
look at the squirrel in the tree, right? And going
Uh-huh.
after them. It's crazy. But when we're looking at our marketing, which really is the driver for everything that we're doing in our business, we need to have that coming in.
Yes.
How do we manage it and stay on point and really have that result that we're looking for, right? And so
Yes.
that's why I was so excited to have you come on, talk about your services and the way that we can really elevate the opportunity of using social media in a way to boost sales, to get the conversation started so we can have the sales
Hmm.
conversation so we can make money.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. This actually lights me up because so just by way of background, Capsho is an AI powered software. It's for entrepreneurs, so coaches, consultants, service providers who create content. So whether that's a podcast, whether that's YouTube videos, whether that's training, webinars,
Whether it's
we
every business out there should be
yeah,
doing content.
right. We even have users who she literally just like goes on a walk and records like a 2 minute thought of the day on her phone. And then she uploads that into Capsho and that just creates, content for her.
Wow.
So that's kind of what Capsho does. Now the kind of secret sauce behind Capsho, I would say, is that we actually work with a lot of experts to build strategy, marketing strategy into a lot of the assets that we create. So, for example, we worked with Katie Brinkley from Next Step Social Communications on her, and we built in her 4 post social media strategy, which is all about going from how do you take people from an awareness of like a problem or a solution to action.
Right.
We worked with like SEO experts. I think Damon, like good friends with Damon, Damon Burden. Kind of like picking his brain around how do we structure a really effective blog post to actually have its best chance of getting seen. YouTube experts on the YouTube description, things like that. And the thing that I want to talk about today on this podcast is actually something that we worked with Jenna Larson with from Group Track CRM, which I think Marcia, you know Jenna
Yes.
as well, yeah. So I've kind of renamed it because she didn't really have a name for it. She was just like, this is kind of
This is
how
an idea. You run with it, right?
yeah, this is like the most effective way that she's seen leveraging definitely Facebook, and I'm more on Facebook as well. So I'll say Facebook only because I haven't tested it on other platforms. So I
Well, I
think
think
that
with the similar, the way that all the platforms work, I mean, they have similar philosophies, right? They may
yes,
have different
yes,
algorithms on what they like and don't like, but the idea is still based there where it can go out
yes,
to LinkedIn or into Instagram if you video
yes,
out,
yeah,
make it visual.
yeah, yeah. So I was kind of working with her, and then so it came. So I kind of named it myself. I call it the 3 Say Me post. Say me, yeah, because you want people to say me, like put their hands up and
Oh, me,
say
me,
me.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so it's actually pretty simple when you think about it. So I'll kind of go through the three posts, and then we can, whatever questions you have, Marcia, we can
Sure.
dive deeper into it. But the whole purpose of the say me strategy is, as I said, to get people to raise their hands. So you're actually calling people forward, like you know that this person who's saying me either has the problem or wants the solution that you're talking about. And this is really important because this is how you actually start to get leads. And it actually rolls in really nicely with what Jen has built with Group Track CRM, because what she does is like, hey, all these people that you then have engaging or joining your Facebook group or whatever it is, like have DM conversations with them to uncover needs and actually see like if you can, if you're a good fit for, if you're both a good fit for each other. And that's a part that, anyway, we miss a lot of I think that a lot of the steps along the way, but
I think you are so spot on with bringing that up, though, because here's the challenge people do. So they post on their favorite media site, right? And they post and post and post and post and post, and then they look back over their month or their week and go, "Well, I got a bunch of likes,
yeah,
or I got a
right.
I got a thumbs up, I
Yes.
got this kind of stuff," but they really don't turn it into the next step, which is the conversation.
Yes, 100%. But to even have the conversation, because this is the thing that I think a lot of us, the reason why we probably shy away from the conversation is because we don't have a really nice trigger to
Mm,
start that conversation. And that's where the
mm.
content, the three say me post strategy comes in, because for us to feel good to even have that conversation, to open up a needs conversation, like I think a lot of us, I'm going to talk generally, but I would say that a lot of us being human, we want to be able to be like, hey, you said me, like you want this thing. Let's start
Right.
having a conversation about it, right? Like it's feels so
Right. You
much
don't
more
want it to be that
natural.
icky thing of coming in going
Yeah,
like, "Oh, you like the
exactly.
picture of me and my dog. By the way, I'm selling this month."
Exactly. Okay. So anyway, let me get really quickly. I'll take you through the three posts.
Yeah.
And Capsho creates all of this, by the way, automatically. So and on top of that, it actually also
Nice.
creates. So it starts with a checklist lead magnet. So Capsho creates like a checklist. It's like the 10 steps to XYZ, depending on whatever
Sure.
you've put in.
Something of interest that the prospect would be willing to trade their email for.
Exactly. So the first post is literally it's just the say me post, which is like a one line. On Facebook, it'd look like those, those posts that you see on the purple background, and it's just
Yeah.
like white text. And it would literally say something along the lines of currently working on a checklist that helps you XYZ. So whatever, put in the problems, like who wants it?
So you're saying I have a solution I'm working on that's going to solve this problem that you're suffering with. And
Exactly.
what that's going to do is someone who has that problem, they're going to go, I want that.
Me. Yep.
Me.
Me,
Brilliant.
right? And then you have permission at that stage to be like, amazing, I'm going to send it to you in your DMs. Go check it, right? And then you start a conversation and you start uncovering needs, and you have, obviously, you want to send them the checklist or the lead magnet.
Sure.
And depending on how you structure it, like some people just send the lead magnet through the DMs, but some people are like, hey, I want to build my list as well. So here's the link to get the lead magnet. So you also could build your list off the back of this strategy. But
Love
the
it.
important part is having the conversation. It opens up the dialogue so you can actually start to have that sales conversation.
Okay, great. So, quick question. We know what it's effectively doing. Does our prospect sit there and get up those like warning flags and go, "Ooh, she's going to sell me something"?
Not at all. Not at all. Okay, but based on two caveats. One is that they are the right audience. If you have, obviously, I think we all know this. If you have the wrong people following you, seeing this stuff, and they're like, why
Yeah.
in the world would I care about the best microphone to use when I'm podcasting or whatever it is,
Right.
like then yeah, they might be like, oh, this is a bit weird. But if you've been able to build a following of the right audience, they're like literally they want this stuff. They want what it is because they trust you, they follow you, and they know
Mm.
that you produce good things. So yeah, they're just gonna be
And
like,
leading
please,
with
yes,
value too.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So
So
that's
that's why
the
why me one?
That's yes, yes. That's the first one. The second one I call the why post. So now this is a little bit longer form post,
Okay.
but it kind of gets into why is so if you think back to the lead magnet, to the solution, or that you're the problem and the solution that you're kind of like targeting,
Hmm.
the why is kind of going into a little bit more detail of that, in terms of like why this lead magnet is important for you is because you might be struggling with these things, and
Hmm.
this is what you need. So it's really starting to go a little bit deeper into, I know exactly how you're feeling right now, and I have a quick win solution for you. And again, the call to action is very similar. Who wants it? And again, people are like, me.
I get it. So it's kind of adding kind of that problem, agitate, solution kind of mix to it,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yep.
the first one says, who wants it, right? The second one
Yep.
says, well, if you're feeling like this and you're having this problem, and wouldn't it be nice to be on the other side of that problem? Then you're
Yeah.
starting to really develop that more. I love this process so
Yeah.
far. This is super
Yeah.
juicy. Are your podcast guest appearances leading to real business, or are you just hoping that listeners will take action? With the Profit Booster Podcast Monetization Hub, we turn your interviews into lead generating machines so that you capture, nurture, and convert listeners into paying clients. So stop leaving money on the table and get started today at profitboosterpod.com. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think if they didn't buy it the first time, this one is going to pick up more of the people that think differently too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Because even, yeah, as we all know that there are like emotional buyers who like immediately they get it, and they're like, so that first post will be like, yes, whatever, yes, give it to me. The
Now.
next one is like the logical buyers, right? Like they need a
Okay.
little bit more convincing, I would say, or a little bit more meat on the bones to be like,
Okay.
okay, I'm in. And that's what the second post
Okay.
is
Love
really
it.
doing. Yeah. And then the third post is kind of like, it gets to be depending on how you approach it, it gets to be quite fun. I call it the BTS post, like the behind the scenes post. So
Oh,
it could either be,
I thought it was a boy band.
I mean, it can also be that. But you could take like a photo of yourself working on the lead magnet, or something, and just being like, because now you're inviting people into your process. It could be that, or it could even be a case study of someone. Maybe you had a client who have whatever strategy that you're laying out in this checklist or this lead magnet. Maybe a client has actually implemented that, so it could be a case study on the results that they've gotten. So now you're kind of, this third post is kind of mopping up the rest of, everyone
Love
else
it.
that, didn't, like the emotional logic. And it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I've got to get my skates on it and get in on this thing before it goes.
Okay. So I love the three punch hit, right? Or
Hmm.
three punch hit. So in this, how often do we do it? Do we do one on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, or do we do one at 1 and one at 2 and one at 3?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it on the same day, so I would do them
Okay.
on separate days for sure. Whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is really going to depend on, again, this everything,
Sure.
marketing
But
is
you're going to
test
want
and
to do
learn.
it with some space in between.
For sure. Yes. Give
And
people
are
the
they all
opportunity to say
going
it.
to
Yeah.
have, sorry, didn't mean to talk over
Yep.
you. Are
No,
they
go.
all going to have kind of that very simple text only post?
Yeah.
Or are
Yeah.
we going to add graphics? I mean, I,
Oh,
I'm a
yes.
Canva, you know what? And people yell at me, my coach yells at me all the time, Marcia, you got to stop using Canva. I'm like, but I like it, it's pretty.
So the first one is just, it's meant to because it is a scroll stopping by nature when you just have like the
The
purple
words,
background and the words. Yeah. So the first one definitely is that. The second and third one I would recommend playing with, yeah, images and text,
videos.
yeah, videos, even text only. That can, it's really, again, what does your audience vibe with, and
Mm,
also what platform are you on?
sure,
Obviously if you're on Instagram, you'll probably want to do more video first content.
sure.
LinkedIn is starting to push more video, but again, just test it depending on what platform you're
Play a
on.
little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And they all lead back to this one special report, the 10 steps to XYZ.
Yeah, and I say 10 steps to the, only because Capsho like creates that, but it could really be, if even if you didn't want to use
7,
Capsho, you could
5.
still follow this strategy And it could be any lead magnet that, it could be an ebook, it could be a guide, it could be, whatever that you
Something that's
wanted.
going to solve an immediate, quick problem that your
Yes.
ideal prospect has right
Yeah.
now that
Yeah.
is urgent enough for them to go, here's my email address.
100%. Yeah, that's it. Now, another caveat. So there's two caveats to this working. Okay, this will work if you have these two things in place. One is the right audience. We already spoke about that. You have to have
Mhm.
the right audience following you. The second one is actually the right message, the right problem, like that you're hitting on the right problem. And
Mm.
this is also test and learned because I did one week. I actually did it in my Facebook group because I know that that's the right audience in my
It was
Facebook group.
safe, right?
Yeah, I had one that 1 week where I had a post. The first Amy post got something like 71 comments. It was like
Oh,
crazy.
that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
The week after, zero. Like
Those
no one
crickets.
wanted the thing. Exactly. No one wanted the thing. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I know it's the right audience. So, first one's ticked. It's just I was not hitting the right
The
problem
problem.
for them. And so if you're trying to do this and you're seeing that it's not working, it's going to be one of those two things. Either you don't have the right audience following you or you're not hitting on the right problem that they're feeling in that moment.
So how does one really figure that out? I mean, we all know we should know our ideal client, right?
Mm.
And the problems that they suffer, but if we're not hitting it, then where do we go back? What drawing board do we go back to?
I would always start with, well, okay. I mean, we have to know who it is that we're serving, like fundamentally. If we don't know that,
In theory, but then again, right? So if we're using your process, right, and we
yeah,
know our audience is um uh chiropractors. I'm just throwing
yes,
throw an example.
yeah,
Chiropractors, right?
yeah, yeah,
And the chiropractors we know we're hitting on, and we think we know their problem,
yeah,
but problem A landed flat. So do we
yeah,
move on to problem B? Do we maybe go have some conversations? What could we do to make sure that we're getting that
yeah,
problem down?
yeah. Any of that. So I love the having conversations. It depends on how, like, the relationships that we built with people as well. Like if you royal you listening to this, if you're comfortable like reaching out to your to people in your, like, the chiropractors, like people who are firmly in your
That
audience that
target
you
audience,
want to
yeah.
serve, that target audience, and you're comfortable being like, hey, I'm trying to build something that's going to be of value to you, or I'm working on whatever, like, have that conversation with them and then test it and then be like, okay, cool, love that. Now I'm going to just put this message out there and see who else bites. Then that's a good way of getting data back. Now, if we don't have followers who are chiropractors, that's where we have to start. Then we have to go to whether it's like other Facebook groups or wherever else and just try to
Mhm.
engage and find those people to start following us. That's kind of another part of social media that gets missed, is that activation part. We just rely on the fact that, well, we think that the algorithms are just going to magically put us out to all of our ideal audience.
Sure.
Yeah, but that does not happen. We do have to activate it ourselves and find our ideal audience, which is not an easy thing to do. So I know I say this like, oh, it's so easy. It is not. I get it.
No, I think that's probably the hardest step of marketing
Mm,
is to really understand who your ideal customer is and the problems they have, but
yeah,
also where they're hanging out. Because
100%.
I have gone back even recently into my own SEO and my own social media and even my YouTube channel and thought, well, where's my audience coming from? And I was flattened to see that the audience I thought I was talking to on one of my channels was not even anywhere close to
Wow.
who I was talking to. So then that
Wow.
told me, and I think that's again, it's the ebb and flow of marketing that we have to go back and check our data, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And make sure that, oh, if that's not it, then I need to adjust to go over here, and maybe my messaging needs to adjust because I'm attracting these guys over here rather than these guys over there.
Yeah. 100%. So it is not an easy thing to do, but if you can put the work in upfront to find those people, to do the work to, first of all, define who they are, and then to
This can be
find
a
them.
huge strategy, though.
It's a huge unlock. Jenna talks about the fact that she built $1 million business off the back of just an organic strategy like this. Like, that's how effectively it can work. You just
Exactly.
need to find the right audience. That's
Well,
fundamental.
we all know that, and that's a whole nother show to build off of. But let's assume that you do know the right audience, right? And you're
Yes.
able to tweak that second message, right? Because it's now no longer as flat as you thought. You had the 74 in the front end. This one turned out 0, but then you tweak the problem that you talked about, and maybe
Yeah.
you got a boost out of it, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, everything that we do, and I know that you were recently at FHL, Marcia.
Mhm.
Russell talks about this as well. It's like you have to put all of these like hooks out into the ocean, right? Like,
It's not one and done. It's
yeah,
not one and you're
exactly.
now a
It's
millionaire, but
exactly, and that's exactly what we're doing, right? And the great thing is that the way that how, like with Capsho, you're literally putting it could be up to weekly hooks that you're putting out there, because if you do a podcast, let's say it's a podcast, you do a podcast episode every week, put into Capsho, it creates literally this 3 say me strategy with the lead magnet.
I love it.
You're putting weekly hooks out all the time, and some might not hit. For example, Marcy, I don't know, like you could do one on even this episode that we're recording right now, but maybe people don't care about Facebook and getting leads off it. Maybe they don't, and then that's okay. You'll put this out there and you'll find out, or
Right.
maybe they will, and it's like, oh, cool. Okay, well, this is clearly a topic that people care about. How do I give maybe more of this, or go even deeper, or whatever it is, with them on
Exactly.
this? Yeah.
I love it. This is because, first of all, marketing, we already established marketing is an essential piece of your business model that you need to
Hmm.
do on a regular basis. And those that don't do social marketing, I think are leaving a lot of opportunity on the table, because the everyday consumer is on social trying to get out of their business mind or whatever it is. They're out there. So I think that using more than one strategy, right? Nobody just buys Facebook ads or Google ads and they're all done, right?
Hmm.
Nobody just puts a billboard out and says, okay, there's all my business coming from. It's a multiple marketing stream avenue tools areas that you're in. You have to have multiple directions that you're going in to make this all work. And that's why I think that you could brush off Facebook and go, well, that ain't for me, my audience isn't out there. But I would encourage you to think
Hmm.
again.
Yeah, everyone's everywhere. Like, honestly, probably can't go wrong with choosing whichever platform you want to primarily be on, because everyone's everywhere. It's just what you're most comfortable
Sure.
using natively.
But I
But
think not doing it at all is a
oh,
disservice.
yes, 100% agree with that. Yeah, we've got to have a presence, and we've got to mine. You know, always start organic rather than throwing money, because that's the thing too. Like, if you use this strategy and you figure out what are the big things that hit, then you can put money behind it, because you know that it works organically. Right? Like,
Yes. It's
this
a
is the
it's a precursor to paid ads.
exactly. So that's the beauty about this strategy as well. Is like, hey, find out what people's like, what's the problem that vibes with people and the solution that they really want, then go put money behind it, and you'll see that take off.
So I love this idea, and I think the real advantage of having a program like Capsho, right, that can help you automate and simplify your information that you're gathering out of the stuff that you're already doing,
Hmm.
right? And that's really the value in it. And I think that if you can, we've got so much on our plate these days, right? We've got this long laundry list of things that need to get done yesterday, and we're chasing squirrels and shiny objects going, oh, AI this. Oh, what's the neighbor doing? Oh, wait,
Yeah.
there's a sale. Whatever it
Yes.
is, we're looking in all these different directions, but I think if we can simplify the process, then it becomes an effective tool, because we're
Hmm.
now using it rather than just going,
Yes.
oh, it's on my to-do list. I'll get to it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
100%. Yeah, implementation is the key. Like that, you've got to execute on the actual, because strategy is great. Like we all feel good when we learn a strategy and we're like, yes, we know this stuff. But if you're not implementing it, nothing's gonna work. So yeah, you're right
Exactly.
on point there, Marcia.
Exactly. Okay. So is your, let's kind of go back to Capsho a little bit because it's an
Hmm.
amazing tool. I'm familiar with it, but I'd love to have you explain a little bit more about the ease of use for it, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it does make it like, anybody can use it. You
yes,
don't
a
have to
hundred
have tech
percent.
skills.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, it was built for people with very little tech skills. But yeah, basically, if you're an entrepreneur and you're creating content, and as Marcia said, that should be everyone. Um, but importantly, some kind of like audio or video content, you would upload that into Capsho. You can also put like a YouTube URL if you're on YouTube into Capsho, and basically Capsho creates three types of kind of marketing assets. One is text based. So everything from, if you have a podcast, it'll do your show notes. If you're on YouTube, it'll do your YouTube description. But as I said, social media post, blog post, LinkedIn newsletter, it pulls out quotes, the checklist lead magnet, like it creates all of those for you. It also does image generation. So if you are on YouTube, you can do YouTube thumbnails with it. You can create social media posts, AI generated images. And it also does video clipping. So if you do upload a video, then you can actually like ask it what you're looking for. You could be like, find the funniest moments or find the most inspiring moments. And it'll,
Find the
it
key
won't.
points on this
Yeah,
episode.
exactly. Yeah. Yep. And it'll give you like 5 to 6. Not all of them will be good, but you'll be able to find like one or two really good ones that you can
Sure.
then, push out. So that's what it'll do essentially. Basically, all in just one upload.
See, that's amazing. And for us, with all this huge list of things that we've got going on, and we want and we recognize the need to be out there, but we don't have time to do all the creative side on it, nor do we want to pay somebody, 3 grand a month or $2,000 a month to do our social media marketing, knowing that it might
Hmm.
not produce the results of $2,000 in leads. Why not do something simple,
Yeah.
automated that you could have it and it does it for you? And now all of a sudden you go, oh, schedule, and it goes out. Or,
Yeah.
oh, it's Monday. What am I going to post today? Oh, that's cute. Post, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's done for you. And that's what I love about having the simplified technology tools that are out there today to make our business be able to do what we need to do
Hmm.
and in a effective and efficient manner. I mean,
100%.
not
Yep.
trying to sell Capsho here. I'm just trying to say that there are really fantastic tools out there that can simplify the process and get the things that you need to do that are on your list of, oh, when I get to it kind of stuff, but you can't get to it because you're too busy. And so that's
Hmm.
why I think these are fantastic. So Dieter, you've given us three really good tools that will definitely yield some, what is it? What do you call 3 me's?
Yeah. Same. Yeah. The three say
You
me
know,
posts. Yeah. Say you
I
saw people
love
say
that.
me. Yep.
Just say me, just say me. So I love that idea. So tell us, where can listeners find out more about Capsho? Maybe some of the 3 me's that you're creating and
Hmm.
how they can use them.
Yes. So if you want to just get in, dive straight in and just try it yourself, like we do have a 7-day free trial. And if you use the code Marcia, can I tell them?
Yes. Of
Yeah.
course.
So if you sign up, you make sure that you put the code Marcia in. And if you love Capsho, then you will get 50% off your plan for as long as you're with Capsho.
Oh, that's
Which is really
fantastic.
cool. Yeah. So don't forget to do that. But, I would just encourage people just jump in, try it. We have a really great, like, we're very hands on with people. So my co founder, especially, like, she'll hop on calls with people to just, help them through the process and figure out what it is that they like, how they can use things and all of that. So we
And there's
try to be
tons of tutorials already built inside. So
ton. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's super easy. But we have a YouTube channel as well that if you just kind of want to like see a little bit of it first, then yeah, definitely go there. But everything, if you just go to capsho.com, so capsho.com, you'll be able to see all the resources and stuff that we have available already.
Awesome. Well, if it's just something you try, or if it's something you use for a few months, but it's just getting you active in the places that you absolutely need to be to get the visibility to bring in the opportunities to A, start the conversations, B, lead to sales and closings, and three, to bring in profit, because we are for-profit businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's got to start somewhere. So this is a fantastic tool that you could use across any platform and really develop a plan that you can, get your marketing in one more space that maybe you didn't have the time or energy or creativity to do in the past. So I love it. Thanks, Deirdre.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in today, folks. I hope you picked up some valuable insights and actionable ideas that will help you make your business more profitable. And I know doing these 3 little me Facebook posts are going to blow up for you and start to attract, even if you get one more conversation that you didn't have last week going. This is a perfect opportunity for it. And it's very simple, takes just minutes to do. All right, as I mentioned earlier, it might be time for a fresh perspective. That's why we're offering a free growth and marketing audit. And in just one powerful session, we'll uncover opportunities to drive real growth in your business. So if you're ready to make an impact, go visit profitbooster.biz and get started. And don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss future shows. You can always catch Profit with a Plan on any of your favorite podcast players. And we're looking forward to more great profitable strategies on next week's show. So until then, make your plans and profit with them. Thanks so much, Deirdre. This was fun.